Okay. I got this. I got this. It doesn't really matter which one. Okay, this might be better. Is this going to be better? Hello? Can you hear us now? It's good now? Yes. Okay. No, I think they can hear us now. Yes. All right. So let's try this again. Hi, everybody. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and this is my husband, Michael, right here on the right of me. And what we are doing tonight is, first of all, we just finished our Snowy Pines pop-up paint party, and we painted our snowman on a canvas panel. Okay, a canvas panel, which is the thin boards. And if you are a painter and you love painting, what is your favorite surface to paint on? Well, mine is probably a canvas board. I really, really love painting on these. But I find that they are very difficult to frame unless, I mean, I guess you could buy a frame and put them in just like a wooden frame if you wanted to. But we like to make our own frames. And so what we wanted to do here tonight is we wanted to show you how to frame this canvas when it is a canvas board. We have all different types of framing methods that we use depending on whether you're using a thin canvas, a thick canvas, or the canvas board, or if you're using wood. Wood is another one. So tonight our focus is, yes, I love that you're showing that. Our focus is how we have decided to frame these, because I've really kind of struggled with that. So say hello, everyone, and do me a favor and sprinkle the love when you get here. I would love to see all of you on so you can learn this great technique that we have. And I just want to show you, I paint on these all the time. I have tons of paintings. Oops, he's upside down. Here's another one that we painted. Here's another one that we painted. These are all tried paintings that I still have sitting in my office. And then we have another one here, and they just go on and on and on. So what Michael and I did was we came out with a way to frame these that's super easy. And so what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to give Michael the floor, and he is going to talk to you for the next, I don't know, probably 15 minutes or so.
Actually, hour and a half.
No, not that long.
No, it's going to be about 15 minutes.
Okay, I see a question says, what brand board do you use? I use Blick. I use blick.com, which, you know what? I guess I should have put my affiliate link in the comments, and I can go ahead and find that in just a minute while Michael's talking to y'all. So I'm going to give Michael the floor, and I am going to be answering your questions and looking at your comments as we're going, and we will have some fun tonight to help you all learn how to frame these.
Whoop, whoop.
So, Michael, let me make the screen. There we go. I'm going to make the screen bigger. All right.
All righty.
Go ahead.
So first and foremost, thank you all for being here tonight. Jen, how many people do we actually have on? Do you know?
61 so far.
61, so that's great.
I'm going to make it a little bit higher.
So just a little bit about me, since we have more than just individuals who have joined us to this wonderful pop-up paint party that only cost how much, Jen?
$10.
$10 for 4 days of painting and frame building, hubba, and then a lot of you joined the tribe, either in the mini tribe or the monthly tribe. So it was just a fantastic, wonderful experience, and we're so glad that we got to meet all of you. So first and foremost, let's talk about the size of the canvas board that we've painted on. So this is an 11 by 14. The general rule that Ginger and I like to follow is when we're making a frame, such as where the canvas board can fit flat on the frame built, when we're making a frame so that the canvas board can fit flat on the frame that has been built, we like to go the longer of the sides of the painting, so it's 11 by 14, the longer sides are 14. So the longer pieces of the frame are going to be 4 inches longer than that. And then the shorter sides of the frame, remember it's an 11 by 14, so it's 11. It's going to be 2 inches smaller than the 11. So this is actually a 9 by 18. And we think it presents a wonderful symmetrical appearance of the painting onto the frame. You don't have to follow those mathematical equations that I just gave you. You can definitely make your frame smaller, longer, or whatnot, but we like the symmetrics of the frame with the picture on top of it. So I bought a 1x3. You can get them at your local hardware store. If you're in the southern part of the United States, it's going to be a pine, possibly. What we got was a fir piece of wood because we live in Montana, the beautiful state. The last best place in America is Montana. And so with that 1x3, which is actually, when you measure a 1x3, you're not actually getting a 1-inch board by 3 inches wide. So when measuring this, my board is actually 3/4 of an inch thick, and it is 2 3/4 of an inch wide. So that's actually the size board that I'm getting. So I cut my board to specs. Remember, 18 inches on the long piece, 9 inches on the short piece. And then I go to my local hardware store and I buy this wonderful thing called a Kreg jig. And this is a Kreg jig.
You want me to put it down so they can
Oh,
see
do you want
it?
me to put it down?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
move the camera. There you
Please
go.
do. So a Kreg jig, you got it on there?
Mhm.
Okay, so a Kreg jig is this wonderful invention that has made novice woodworkers such as myself be able to produce woodworking masterpieces by drilling pocket holes, which is just a simple, or excuse me, a difficult way to say we want to hide the screws that we use so they're not visible in the furniture or the things that we build. Back in the day, before the invention of a Kreg jig, and there are other jigs other than the Kreg jig, but back in the day, before the invention of the Kreg jig, it was very difficult. You had to be a very well-versed woodworker to be able to drill pocket holes and have your wood stick together. But alas, we had the Kreg jig, and I want to explain this to you. There are many models of a Kreg jig. I have one of the older models, but the format of using a Kreg jig is just the same. I would encourage you that if you're going to start doing pocket holes, or you like the way that we built this frame, that you go to your local hardware store and you buy a Kreg jig or a jig that creates pocket holes. It doesn't have to be a Kreg jig, and you learn how to use it. If you run into trouble after this video, just refer to the instruction manual. It's a little complicated, but it still is a good thing. So there's so many components to the Kreg jig, and this is the one that I have. If you look here on the side, and I'm going to loosen it, and it gets stuck a little bit. If you loosen it on the side, you see that it has thickness of the board, right? So I just measured my board. Now remember, I bought it. It's a 1x3. However, when measuring it, just to show you, when measuring it, it's actually 3/4 of an inch. So I need to set the thickness of this portion of my Kreg jig to 3/4 of an inch. And if you can see closely, you see that there's numbers on the side of this. You see the words thickness of the board. So I'm going to unloosen this screw, and I'm going to move that down to 3/4 of an inch. And let's do that right now. And remember, this is the thickness of the board. And then I'm going to tighten that. And as you see, I've now got it to 3/4 of an inch. Now, Michael, why are you doing that? We'll answer that in just a second. Then the next part of my Kreg jig is this little handle receiver that actually holds the board in place. Okay, this is very simple. You can figure this out very easily. It's got a nut so that when you push the plunger forward and it secures the board, if it's If you can't push it down because it's too close or it's not even reaching the board, you just undo this nut and then you screw out your plunger and then you're able to secure the board. So the board is now secure. The board is not going to fall out, and this is a wonderful thing. Now, real close, Jen, we need to show them these numbers here. So these numbers depict how long you need your drill bit that comes with the Kreg Jig set that you buy. And the drill bit,
which I have in my Amazon store, by the way.
Very good.
I put in my Amazon store, and I just put the link down there. In my Amazon store, there is, or in my Amazon shop, there's a link to a Kreg Jig set
right
in there. Yeah.
Now, the drill bit that comes with the Kreg Jig, if you buy the right combination of equipment, because you can go to, and I'm just going to throw out Lowe's out there since they're not paying me, I'm going to give them kudos. Lowe's has a complete section of Kreg Jig components that you can buy. You can buy just the bit. You can buy just the jig itself. They have a Jig 2, a Jig 3. They have so many different variations of the Kreg Jig to do certain things. So here's the drill bit. The drill bit, now remember my board is 3/4 of an inch. The drill bit has this collar, and if you see this collar, it also has a set screw in the collar. I use an Allen wrench and I can loosen or tighten this collar. And the reason why I would do that is because this collar is a set point that you decide to have so that your drill bit does not drill through the piece of wood and go through the hole of the Kreg Jig. Now, if you read the instruction manual, it tells you you're not supposed to figure out where to put the collar based upon this technique by looking at the end of this drill bit and if it touches the plastic or not. They say if your wood is 3/4 of an inch, then you place your Kreg Jig, or excuse me, your drill bit, and you make sure that the beginning of the bit is at 3/4 of an inch. And if you look at it, it certainly is. So there's two ways to determine where the collar goes so that you don't drill through your Kreg Jig. And that's the thickness of the board, 3/4 of an inch.
I'm confused, but I got you. I'm glad you explained it.
So the easy way is if the board is 3/4 of an inch, make sure when you put this bit on the Kreg Jig, this portion of the Kreg Jig bit is at 3/4 of an inch. Or the easy way is stick your bit in the pocket hole, and if it touches a plastic, then unloosen your collar and move your bit up a little bit so it doesn't touch the plastic, and then you're good to go.
Okay.
Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may say, well, Michael, what are your holes in your Kreg Jig for? Why are there holes there? Don't worry about that. Maybe someone accidentally drilled through the Kreg Jig. No, actually, it came like that so that you would not drill through. You would actually hit the hole. So, all right. So we've talked about the thickness of the board and setting it up, right, so that you can place your board to be drilled into. We talked about adjusting the plunger so that you can just hold the board. We also talked about adjusting the collar of the Kreg Jig drill. Say it 3 times real fast while holding your tongue.
Everybody said they're confused, but okay, we got you.
Well, you know, listen to this over and over again. That's what I did when I first purchased this. I watched YouTube videos, I read the instruction manual, and I listened to the guy over and over again. I even had my phone with me out in the woodworking shop.
Yeah.
So this isn't something that you look at one time and say, oh, great, I got it, and I'm going to go out and do it all by myself. It's just like when you're going to school. You have to do research, and sometimes you have to have your book with you to figure out what to do. But once you learn how to use a pocket hole jig, you're going to make frames that look exactly like this.
So I just need to tell you.
And it looks wonderful.
Facebook user says, I'm not confused yet. April says she's not confused. Nona says, I think I'm hearing a foreign language. Another Facebook user said, I'd rather deal with a fishing jig, LOL.
I feel you.
So yes, it is a very, very neat tool. Very neat tool.
So the concept is that we're hiding our screw when we put our frame together. Now, there's one thing that I want to tell you that I don't have. But if you look at the back of this frame that we built for the snowman, you see where we had the pocket holes, right? Mm-hmm. Well, Lowe's sells pocket hole fillers. It's a piece of wood, It's a piece of wood that will actually fit in the back of that hole and hide that hole. But that's cosmetic, and that's the back of a picture frame. Yeah. If someone comes into your house and takes your picture frame off the wall and looks at the back and goes, oh, you didn't fill the hole, then ask them to have coffee outside. So that's all I'll say. Okay. Yeah. So you don't need to, but there's so many different things that you can do. All right.
So many people use the Kreg jigs to make like furniture, like whole furniture. And so if you're attaching like sides like that where it really matters, if you don't want that hole there, then you can fill it up. But we're not worried about that.
Okay, so. Jen, get ready to adjust your camera. I want to show them the frame real quick.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to picture on this.
Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you see I've already developed pocket holes. The pocket hole is just an opening for me to use a Kreg jig screw to screw into the pocket hole, go through the piece of wood, and to connect to the other piece of wood. And we'll do it like this. And then the screw is hidden. And I'm about to show you how to do that. Once again, Kreg jig screws, found at Lowe's right there in the Kreg jig section. I'll be using a Kreg jig bit. I don't need that. Thank you. A Kreg jig bit. That bit fits right into the hole of that screw. All of that is found in the same place. But first, what I have to do is I got to drill holes into this piece of board. Now, I've already done it, but I'm going to show you how to do it.
So he just drilled the holes in the two smaller pieces. There's no drilling on the two longer pieces. It's just the two smaller pieces, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And since you brought that up, I just want to point out one thing. Guys, if I was going to drill a screw into the grain of wood going this way or this way like I did, I'm not getting as tight of a grip on this screw than I normally would. The most proper way is to drill cross section into wood. That really secures the wood, but that is a totally different class.
Yeah, that's like,
you're really going to be confused. Jen,
that's
you
like
control the camera.
That's like graduate level.
It's not graduate level at all. Kreg jig has a jig that can do that.
All we want to do is make a frame.
However, man, do I talk this much when you're on?
Yes.
I don't like this. However, because you're just going to be hanging the frame on the wall with your painting, you can go with the groove from the shorter piece and have it protrude into your longer board, and it's going to hold just fine.
Okay, so show us how to do it.
Oh, all right. We're going too long? Am I talking too much?
No, I just want to see how you do it. I'm interested because I've never watched you do this before.
All right, so let's pretend, right? I'm going to put my Kreg jig bit into my drill, and I'm tightening her down. All right, make sure it works. Yep. Then I'm going to get the board that does not have pocket holes. You don't see that.
Yeah, pretend that's not there.
And I'm going to place it against the Kreg jig. Now look, you see I got 3 pocket holes on my Kreg jig. If you're drilling into a wide piece of board and you really need to secure it, you may want to fasten or drill holes in each of these, into the wood using these holes so it holds it really well. But I'm only going to drill 1 hole because this is such a small piece of wood and you're attaching it to another small piece of wood. You only need 1 screw per wood per side.
Okay.
So I would place it in my Kreg jig. I would push my plunger forward and I would secure it down. Then I would, starting my drill, go all the way in until the collar hit the top of this and stopped. You couldn't go any farther. I pull my piece of wood off and voila, I have a pocket hole. But I got to do the other side, right? Because this pocket hole, the pocket holes are going to be used to attach the shorter piece to the longer piece. So do you guys understand that? Wood, secure. I pick the middle hole.
Center, does it matter? Because
No.
I would say because this is only a 3-inch wide board, the center is the best place to put the drill hole. But if you had like a really, like this is only 3 inches wide. But if you had like a really wide board, like 6 or 8 inches, then you might want to put 2 holes. One, you know, like just kind of separate them a little bit.
And again, yeah, it's such a small piece of wood. I mean, it's 3/4 of an inch thick, and it's 2 3/4 of an inch wide. So I think one pocket hole is fine for something like this. So I drill my holes into my shorter piece of wood, doing both sides.
Michael is giving me the look now.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. It's just when I'm talking, I'm so focused. I can't. No, I'm joking. That's what you say.
I know. I do get so.
Okay. All right. Back. Go sit down. You control the camera.
All right. So let's make this baby.
Okay.
Let's
so
do
now I take my drill bit off, or excuse me, and I place the bit that's going to secure my Kreg jig screws.
Does it have to be that long?
Well, so that's a great question. Did you ask that, or did someone else ask that?
I asked that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He is really getting me back, isn't he?
let me have that.
So this is a smaller one.
Okay. So yeah, they got so many length of screws. What I found is when I'm trying to put the screw into this piece of wood at this small piece board that I have, I don't like the angle that's created when I use this small bit. I like the angle that's created when I use the longer bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
It fits so much easier. Yes, it allows me to lay down more and whatnot.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to point out, Jen, put the camera on my face. Good job, Jen. You're going to get a raise from this. I mean, I can say you're a very good worker.
Oh, okay.
They've made so many different variations of the Kreg jig. One of the problems that people would have with the older version is they would drill the screw into the wood, right? Missing the hole. You see that hole? You see that hole? That's what was made. They would miss the hole and actually drill through the bottom part of the frame, messing that piece of board up. Now they make a variation of the Kreg jig apparatus to where it puts it at the most perfect angle, so it's almost impossible to drill through the other side, and you end up drilling right through the end of it into the other piece of board, right through the end of it. So I just want you to know, if you make some mistakes, Kreg has really refined their process so that you're not making those mistakes. So check that out. So let's screw this thing together.
Let's do it. Let's make this thing. And then we have to attach the picture too, baby.
That part is I don't like doing that part. All right. So excuse my limited workspace. Now, you can do this so many different ways. You may want to secure the board using a clamp to your work table and then secure this board and make sure it's perfectly lined up. I'm a country boy. I live in the mountains, and sometimes it's 0 degrees. So I don't clamp anything down. I just get ready to screw it in. So I line it up. I make sure that my ends are flush. You guys know this, right?
Yeah, they got this.
All right. I'm trying so that you can see. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
Now, notice I'm off, right?
Yeah. Well, that's because we're kind of like.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
We're doing it very.
Okay. So that's what you get when you clamp it. When you clamp the board down, that's what you That's what you get, so you don't have that mistake. Jen, I am working. This takes skill.
He has the floor, huh? I can't say anything.
But you're right. I mean, if we were going to sell this frame, we would do
You
it
would
totally
put it
differently.
like flush against something.
That's right.
Like find a nice wall or something to put it against.
All right, so let's do this one. And notice that they're magnets, so the screw hangs on. Right?
All right.
Also, this board was the reason why we never used this frame is because these boards are a little warped, and that's what you're going to get when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot. You're not going to get boards that are as straight as possible. Take your time, move boards out of the way. I know that seems like a hassle, but the straighter boards you can get, the happier you will be when you're building your own frame.
Yeah, and something else. So we don't have internet out in our shop where we do most of our woodworking, and it's 17 degrees tonight and it's snowing, so we didn't want to go out there. So we brought everything inside here in my paint shop, and so we're just kind of using what we have in the shop right now, and so we don't really have the best setup. So
okay, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. And then the last screw. And by the way, I'm using 1 1/4 inch Kreg screws.
Show it right here. There you go.
Could you have used 1 inch? Yeah, you could have, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that if my board is 3/4 of an inch long, right, and I'm starting from here, I want a little more bite than just an inch screw. So I need that 1/4 inch just to make sure that I get in there pretty good.
All right, we're almost done. Last one.
Do I get a raise or anything for this?
Yes, absolutely.
Now,
look at that. Ta-da.
Voila. Voila. But we're not done.
Okay, so now we have to choose a picture, a painting. Which one do y'all want us to attach to this frame? Which one do you think is going to look good? So tell us. This is the cardinal. This is the chickadee. This is the horse. This is the, what do you call it? Cedar wax wing.
Cedar wax wing.
Can you grab it?
Oh, yes.
This is the robin. And this is, oh, I have one more. This is the chicken, the rooster, the rooster, sorry. And this is a, just like a landscape, a night sky landscape with the ducks flying. So tell us which one you want us to actually finish the whole process.
So
which one do y'all want us to frame?
So I'm putting it on there. But,
do you use wood glue on the seams?
So that's a great question. You can use okay, Jen. Okay. You can use wood glue. Should you use wood glue? Yes, you can. For this purpose, we decided not to. There's a lot of woodworkers out there that will use nothing but wood glue. Wood glue now will cure in about 8 to 12 hours to about 75% strength, and in 24 hours it will cure 100%. They will leave it even longer. The only bad thing is that if you're doing any movement around, it's going to come apart. If you subject it to any extreme temperatures, cold or heat, it's going to fall apart. I love the pocket screws because it allows you to invent something a little bit stronger than just using wood glue.
So here's something that coming from the designer perspective, okay, having absolutely nothing to do with the wood, actually nothing to do with the framing to create the frame. But you see how much we didn't stain the inside. Oh no, we don't have to. That's true. Okay. You see how much stripes, how many, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just a very stripy, grained piece of wood.
That's another reason why we didn't use it.
Yeah, so it's gonna take away a little bit of the the focus off of the painting because this wood is so stripy. So this is not my favorite grain of wood to use. I would find some wood that does not have such a stripy grain because you see how it's kind of, I just don't like the rooster on it because of all the stripes. But maybe that's just not me. Maybe that's just me. If you put the robin looks pretty good because the background of the robin is more like flowery. You see how it makes a little difference because of the design. So the horse to me would probably look super good because of the flatter, plainer pattern around the outside of the horse.
It actually goes better with that frame, I think.
Yeah, I think the horse is gonna win, y'all. What do y'all think when you look at that because of the design? So we're gonna go ahead. Don't you agree? Yeah. These are a little bit too. Now this one would probably look good too because it's kind of plain. See, that one would look really good too because it's got like a really smooth background up here. But I think the horse is gonna win. Okay, so the horse is gonna win. So we are gonna attach the horse on top of this.
Let me tell them something real quick.
I'm done.
Okay, so is that camera on me or okay?
It's okay. On that.
So guys, just to let you know something, I'm a novice woodworker. Yep, I've built dining room tables, furniture, stuff of that nature, but I still consider myself a novice. I want to tell you one of the benefits that we try to teach our tribe members. Go the extra step, build a frame, be it like this or be it 45-degree angles on the corners, build a frame, put yourself out there in marketplaces like Jen teaches. She has a video that teaches you how to do that. Put it on Etsy, put it on the social media network, and you can pay for your membership. I know we've got a lot of members who do that. That is an awesome thing. Some of you aren't interested in doing that. You're just painting for yourself, which is an awesome thing. But you're going to see that the more you paint, the better you're going to become, and the more attention you're going to get from friends and family who want a piece of your heritage. And so we just want to throw that out there. Okay.
So this is one that we painted in the tribe. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. There you go. Thank you. So this is one that we painted in the tribe, and I liked it so much that I have it hanging in my house. And we used the same type of framing that we did here. This one's a little bit bigger, but this is what we're getting ready to show y'all how to do. We're going to attach it in the corners just with some little antique tacks. Okay, right, y'all see that? So yeah, this one's actually hanging in my guest bathroom.
Right on. Now remember what I said. The canvas board is 11 by 14. So the long side of that is 14. I made the long pieces of board 18 inches long. The short side of the canvas board is 11. So I made my short pieces 9. So the short pieces are 2 inches smaller. The long pieces are 4 inches longer than the canvas board. Again, we did that because we felt as if it added symmetry to the whole outline. Ginger actually gets out her ruler and she goes, okay, so we're 2 inches here. We're okay, we need to be 2 inches here. Okay, we need to be 2 inches here, and we're still 2 inches there. Yep.
Measure the corners.
Okay, so this corner we are 2 3/4.
So that's too much.
Yeah, this corner we're
like this.
So Ginger uses that measurement of 4 and 2. 4 on the long side is longer than the painting, longer side of the painting, and 2 inches on the short side of the shorter side of the painting.
So I go 2 inches. We got to go 2 inches horizontal and 2 inches vertical.
Right on.
And then come this way. And I'm going to put a dot. 2 inches.
Now you may say, well, how do we get rid of that dot? Jen, how would they?
This is just a charcoal pencil.
That's
so
right.
It's gonna,
so it can come off.
Yeah. Can you move that out the way?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we're going to do the same thing over here. So that's why we do 2 inches bigger. So 2 inches. And then 2 inches. And where they cross, that's where it's going to be.
Right on.
Okay, so 2 inches away from the edge, and then 2 inches away from the other edge. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm going to make like a little cross. And I didn't do that here. I just made a dot, but because I want it, I'm trying to make it as perfect as possible. So that's why I want the entire part of the frame to be visible 2 inches all the way around the perimeter of the painting. So I took my ruler. Can you hold that for a sec?
Yep.
What did I do with the ruler? Oh, I took my ruler. Can you make that 2 inches?
I can.
Okay. So I took my ruler. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I went 2 inches away and I put a mark, and then I went 2 inches away here, and then they crossed. Those 2 marks crossed each other, and that's where the corner that's where the corner of the painting is going to go. So I did that on each one of those. Okay, so I have a cross
I think we have a question over
on
there.
each one of those.
Can you do the something with the something?
Can you do this with a regular canvas? I would think you do, but you're going to have to use longer tacks than what we're using to attach the canvas board to the actual wood. So that's what we're going to do right now.
But now just listen, if you did use a regular canvas that had some thickness to it, then you can do a different design. You can actually make your framing longer and wider so that the canvas sits inside of the frame. Now, how would you secure it? You can do something on the back to secure that. I've actually done that, and so it looks pretty good. I haven't shown Ginger. I was just messing around. Okay, actually, I didn't understand what she wanted, and I thought she wanted me to fit the canvas in here. So, but anyway, it worked out nice.
So yes, you could, but I don't think it looks as good.
No, but you could set it inside of the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you put it on top of the frame like that, oops, y'all can't see that. See, this is a regular canvas. And to me, it doesn't look as good. You see how high up it is? So what we do for our regular canvases is we actually frame around the perimeter of the canvas. Like actually attach it to the canvas. So canvas boards are different. That's why I was looking for something easier for Michael to do to to frame these, because it's almost like a flat surface. And these are a lot harder to frame unless you just go to the store or you go to like an antique store, which I do often. And I just buy some old wood frames and I stick my canvas boards in those too.
So Jen, you want to line that up?
Yep. All right. There you go.
One thing we notice when using these little ornamental tacks that we bought, if I use a hammer to nail straight on top of that, I end up scarring this little bolt up. So what we do is we use a piece of
kind of rag.
Yeah, a cloth. And so
this is the hard part.
What I like to do is I immediately get it and I press into the canvas board. It'll hold. There's no doubt it'll hold.
Put it a little bit off, about right there.
Whatever you want, dear.
Okay, so you need to press it because I'm not strong enough.
Yep,
okay, maybe I got it.
Yeah, you got it. All right, let off that for a sec. Very good. And then very lightly.
I think it fell already.
Yes, it did.
So this is the hard part, to get the tacks in.
But nothing easy, right?
Kind of squeeze it with the, yeah.
Now I got it started. I just want to show you. I got it started. See how it's at a little angle? No worries. No worries.
Okay,
perfect.
There we go. So you do that for each corner. See, we got a little tack there now. And that's what's going to hold it in place.
Yep.
And it's ornamental. It's like I bought them on Amazon, which I guess I have to put those in my Amazon store too. They're just some little They're just some little antique. They weren't expensive at all. Just some little antique looking
Hand me that,
tacks.
Paul. And I'll just do one more. You can understand to repeat and repeat. But throw your questions. What questions do you
Let
have?
me read. Let's see. Would it help to drill a tiny hole first and then tack it?
So the end of this tack is extremely small. So the hole that you're talking about is called a pilot hole. You need a very, very small drill bit, and you need to be very careful because you really are only going to go in probably a couple of centimeters. But yeah, as far as if you're having difficulty making the tack stay, yes, you can drill a pilot hole.
They are a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. So somebody asked, how long are the tacks? You can go ahead and do the other ones while I'm doing this. I'll answer questions. 16, 8, 9. I would say 10 16ths. So that would be 5/8 of an inch. That's how long they are. Yeah, so the tacks are 5/8 inch. The corgi just went to the door thinking somebody was there because of the hammer.
Tell him it's Michael.
Miss Elaine, the tacks were purchased on Amazon. And I will put a link to that. I don't think I put the tacks in my Amazon store. I'm going to have to do that. It was like 100 tacks for like, like $3 or something. I don't know. I don't remember. I'm going to have to look at it. This looks great. And I'm making my husband watch this too. Hi, Connie's husband.
Hey, Connie's husband.
Do you use glue? So I wonder the same thing. Like, should I use glue? We have not used glue so far.
Not with this frame, but we have with other frames.
Yeah, I have not had any problems at all, but we have not used glue. Now, what I would do, which I did not do on this one, but I will do. Look how pretty that looks.
Yep.
See how I didn't finish the edges perfectly? See that? That's just me not finishing my painting all the way. But I would recommend you like paint all the way around.
And guys, and when I say guys, you know who I mean. This wood was what we consider trash wood. It was wood for us to play around and practice and perfect the method of being able to do this and sell for $125 or whatever she sells that for. And people say, oh my gosh, I love your frame. Can you do this and do that? Well, yeah, certainly we can.
Yeah.
So practice with a piece of scrap wood that's warped. And until you perfect your craft, your trade.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So Heather, this video is going to be you'll have access to it forever. It's free. It's a free tutorial for you guys to work on learning how to frame your canvases, because if you are anything like me and you love painting as much as I do, y'all saw how many of those paintings I have over 150 paintings sitting in a room, and I'm ready to start getting back into markets to start selling them. And I also sell at a store in Louisiana, but they sell so much better when they are already framed than just the canvas itself. So that's why.
And you can ask for a little more.
Yes, and you can ask for a little more. And Michael loves doing woodworking, and I'm a woodworking lover as well. So it was just something that we wanted to do, was to start making our own frames and selling our products with the framing. So,
and guys, look, I want to encourage you to go play around with woodworking. When we're putting frames around canvases, we're using something called a miter saw, and we're putting the miter saw at 45 degrees and we're cutting angles, and you can turn your wood exactly how you want it to cut the angles that you want. My point being is taking that extra time and learning that trade gives you an opportunity to touch the public in positive and effective ways. Because if you're a mini triber, or you're an annual member of Jen's Zen Art Tribe, or you're a monthly member, you know what we're about. We believe that Jesus Christ is first,
Mm-hmm.
painting and everything else is second, and then of course we praise God when we do this. So this is what we do. We pray, we praise, and we paint. That's what we do. So
Kelly, thank you for being here and making this possible for us, because we love sharing and we love having all of you on here. So
right on. Thank you, Kelly.
Anne says, do you always stain the wood first? I do. Usually we cut it to size and then we stain the pieces once they're cut.
And the problem you would have is if you didn't, then you'd be touching up very carefully around the painting and all that other good stuff. So stain the entire piece, cut, all that other stuff. I cut my first, and then I stain it and make it just right, and then I drill.
And you can paint them black or white. I think that would look super. If you painted them black, that would look really good. It would almost look like a matting around your your painting. So yeah, you could paint it instead of staining it. You could paint it, or you could distress it. You know, you could paint it white and do it like a distressed look. That would look good as well.
Right on.
Robert says, thank you for the good information. I think I may join the free group for a while. Okay, so I'm glad you said that about the group.
Is that Robert or is that Nancy? That's Nancy.
I think it's Nancy. Yeah. Yes. Limit time is I want to spend money. All right. Okay. So we have a special going on right now. And it ends tonight at midnight. So as soon as you sign up, you are not charged for the first 7 days of your subscription. You have a free trial, and you get to come in and see what Jen's Den Art Mini Tribe or Tribe is all about. And you can cancel. All you have to do is you have manual access to click that cancel button, and you will not be charged a penny. And you have an entire week to play around with all of the over 135 tutorials that we have in the Tribe library. So I have 2 subscriptions. I have a $35 a month subscription, which is my VIP group, and that is 1 painting per week. We go live and we paint once a week. It's a 2-session painting. It takes anywhere from 1 hour to 3 hours, depending on the painting. So my paintings are a little more adult style, as you can tell by the ones that we looked at today. So it takes us sometimes 2 to 3 hours to get through a painting, even though it's just painted on an 11 by 14 or a 16 by 20. Most of our paintings are painted anywhere, usually about 11 by 14 is what we paint on. And then I also have a Mini Tribe subscription that's $17 a month, and you paint with us 1 painting a month instead of 1 painting a week. It's 1 painting a month. So yeah. And the Mini Tribe only has 12 painting tutorials in their Tribe library. The Tribe has everything in there.
How many is everything, Ginger?
Oh gosh. All the pop-up paint parties and all of the weekly tutorials that we've been doing since February 2020. And sometimes we would do more than 1 a week.
It's over 130 painting tutorials that you have access to when you become a monthly or annual member, to have for as long as you're a member. It's unbelievable. And look, that tells, listen, okay. So that inspires me to say something else. Listen, if you even think about joining the free group, Mini Tribe, whatever, pop-up paint party, we are not about drama. We are about loving on one another. We're about spreading peace and faith and hope in Jesus Christ. That's what we're about. That may not be for you. Fine. You don't have to join. It may be for you. And know that whether you join or not, once we get a hold of your name, we are praying for you every single night. We have been commissioned to do that. And I don't mean commissioned as being paid to do it. We are being given the desire to paint and to speak boldly and freely about God, and to not be ashamed of our witness. Ginger is a wonderful teacher, a teacher of 25 years in the public school system. And now she does this, and she's a wonderful teacher. I'm a mental health counselor. I try not to do any mental health therapy. All I try to do is pray with you guys. And before we end tonight, if you allow me, I'd like to pray for all of you.
Can I answer a few more questions before? Miss, I'm not sure. Please, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but it's either Jean or Jean McCumber. I have 3 different levels of paintings, a level 1, a level 2, and a level 3. And most of the paintings are level 2s, and I would consider the snowman a level 2 as well. Yes. So my level 1s, and I actually have them like categorized like that, and I actually have them categorized in all different kind of ways. So if you're looking for holidays, you can find just holidays. If you're looking for just florals, you can find just florals and all of that good stuff. But yeah, we have level 1 paintings, level 2 paintings, and level 3 paintings. And most of the paintings are level 2 paintings, which are very similar to the snowman painting. Yes. You will not regret joining. And like I said, just spend 7 days with us. Spend 7 days with us. We're going to be going live again in the tribe. When do we go live again? We go live. This is the last month we're going live on Sunday night. In 2020, we're going to be going live every Monday night and Tuesday. Every Monday night and Tuesday. But this month, this is the last month we're doing this. We go live every Sunday night and Monday in the tribe, in the private Facebook group. We go live in the mini tribe. We go live the first. Well, it's going to start being the first Monday and Tuesday of every month. And in the tribe, we go live every week, every Monday and Tuesday of every week. So that's the difference. One is a month, and one is once a month, and the other one is once a week. Okay. But the once a week one is kind of like, we consider it a VIP. That's our VIP. We do a lot of other stuff in there as well, more than just painting once, painting one painting. So right now there's about 90 people in the mini tribe, and there's about 350 people in the tribe. That's where I'm at, because I started the mini tribe after I started the tribe. So
I got you, Michael.
So yeah. Yes, we do have some prayer requests tonight. Someone's husband has been exposed to COVID. He is 77.
Yep.
Are you reading that?
Yep.
Someone else just lost a dear friend of 50 years to an unexpected death. They think it was a blood clot.
Prayers from a little sis. She has several ruptured discs, and they are pressing on her spinal cord. Yeah, got that.
Yes, Miss Jenny. Very good people in this group. And if they weren't good people in this group, they wouldn't be in this group.
Right on.
So yes. Absolutely. So okay, so we're gonna pray now. Are you ready?
Yeah, I am. So please allow me to pray for all of you tonight, okay? Oh, Father God, you know what is on our hearts. You know what we struggle with. You know our doubts, and you know our fears. But God, you have given us not a spirit of fear, not a spirit of doubt. You have told us, God, that if we will lean upon you, you will guide us and direct us and not let us dash our foot against a stone. So, God, we ask that you continue to watch over all of our tribe sisters and brothers, the mini tribers, the pop-up paint party, everyone that is associated with Jen's Den Art Tribe. God, we ask that you wrap your arms around them and guide them and protect them and give them the strength and boldness to proclaim who you are. We thank you, Father, for the blessings of life. We thank you for the people that spoke out about the pains and ailments that they are suffering or their families suffering with. And God, we lift them up to you now. For it is in Jesus Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, right on.
Thank you, Brother Michael.
Right on.
All right, guys, we're going to call it a night, and we love you all, and we thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next time. Make sure
have a great weekend.
You follow Jen's Den Art Facebook page, because you will get notified when I go live, and I go live once a week to the public, and we do it's called New Technique Wednesday. So we do something fun every week. So y'all come on and join us. All right, guys. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.